evening, everyone, and welcome to TMA Sunday Night Live. This is the Pidge, and I'm joined by the young man, Daniel Dean, and Mr. Moobs and Deano.
Hey, we're back, people, we're back.
Guys, just remember, we are in association with WD18 The Watford Fans channel. Like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Right, okay, so we've got our Legends Talk with David Holdsworth coming up very, very shortly. But the obvious task of dissecting what was supposed to be a football game yesterday. Boys, go on, you kick it off, and I'm going to. And I'm going to clench my first while he
clench your first. I'm clenching my fist. What, oh my days, what happened yesterday? Was there a football match played at Anfield? No, it was a training match, I think, for them. That was yesterday, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You probably saw me posting God knows how many things on the forum last night. It was utterly disgraceful. It was woeful. How on earth can we go up there and just get turned over in the manner that we did and not even try and put up some sort of fight? I'm sorry, I can't work out why Britos even started. The back three or back five was completely unbalanced. I don't think half of them knew what was going on. The midfield, they were lost. Decore was running all over the place. Capu was non-existent. I think he'd gone down to Albert Dock and decided to go for a swim.
That was a good performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. And he's diving off the side was even better. Deany was so isolated up front, you didn't even know he was on the pitch. Richarlison tried, couldn't get going. Again, he couldn't get going, which makes me think you've seriously got to change something now up the top end. Holebas, I've been praising him a lot lately.
Yeah.
Where was he last night half the time? Couldn't even see him. Firmino done his part. Was good going forward. I thought he showed some lovely skill going forward. One of the few positives I can probably take from that.
Yep.
But apart from that, pretty non-existent. Pereira, tried his best. Possibly gone viral for that beautiful nutmeg turn he done on. I can't remember who it was in the first half.
I remember it, but I can't remember.
That was. I did. Oh no, it was Emre Can, I think it was, because I put up a taxi for Can. Which I thought was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, apart from that, I thought it was pretty darn dire. And unfortunately, Kinesis, you had a game to forget as well, mate, because I wasn't impressed with you last night.
No.
Especially, I think it was the fourth goal or the fifth goal. He just bounced off his body.
Best player I thought was Pereira. Yeah, I thought our best player, one came out with any real credit. It was probably Pereira. I thought he really had a decent go.
Well, I saw highlights.
I mean, like I said to you, with the Britos thing, and I know through the forums there's a lot of chat about this, but in his defence, the only things I would say in defence, okay, he was responsible for 2 of the goals. As a defender, you put your hands up and say, okay, I could have done better. But where was our wing backs trying to think? Because I said to this on our forum, idea of back three and a wing backs where the back three mark up each man as a 3. Okay, they didn't do that. Mark up 3. You got our wing backs then create doubling up. They double up. So if there's the left hand side, you get our right wing back. Yeah. And on our left side, on their right, you get our left wing back to come and cover. Holebas and Firmino did not do that and did not cover themselves in much glory.
Well, yeah, and I think that's another thing they've got to look at. I just think there was more of a case of they seemed uninterested in the formation they were playing and just thought, you know what, we ain't good. What we're meant to be doing. 1 minute you want us to be coming all the way back, then you expect us to be 60 yards up the pitch, and we're getting torn apart. I'm sorry, but it doesn't add up. Gracia, you got it tactically wrong. You messed up the tactics big time. You should not have gone back 5. I'm sorry, but
back 4 would have been. You always had a spare man then, wouldn't you?
Exactly. You got. I'll quickly say you do a back 4 like that. All you got to do is get someone from that bit in the midfield to come back and act as another centre back.
Sweeper.
Yeah.
Sweeping in front. Yeah.
Then sweep it round. And then all of a sudden you've got your output. I'm just demonstrating here, guys. I will try and
you got your 4. You got your 4 wrong. Got your 4 with the two midfielders and 1 dropping back. basically, that's what Moobs is saying. You're saying they're like a sweeper, aren't you?
You're asking someone to come back.
Yeah.
You know, they had three up top. Why did we have to play a back five? You don't have to play a back five with 3 up top. It's simple.
He's trying to isolate him. Why he played 3 at the back with 2 wingers to isolate? Yeah. In theory, the wing back should come back and cover. Like was already said to cover.
Yeah. Well, we did sort of isolate Mane to an extent because he was pretty non-existent. He didn't really. I don't think he'd done much. Firmino was a threat, as he always is, but Salah.
Yeah, but we didn't learn 3 minutes.
No. Exactly.
Why is it fine Brightos slipped? You know, everyone slips. God sake, you know, we didn't really slaughter Deeney for missing that penalty, and that was terrible. You know,
Brightos, it was more of a slip than
it was.
It was a half and half. He got rinsed, and he also slipped. He slipped in result of him getting rinsed on that thing. He slipped and tried to put his leg out.
The way he slipped, it looked like he'd gone over on a blooming banana.
Yeah, but why ain't someone sweeping like you said? Right, I know Salah's quick. Why aren't you covering behind Brightos to block it?
Exactly.
As well, Nick's saying we didn't know what to do in the final third. There was no running. There's no cohesion up there.
Because what you had was with that back five, you've taken someone out of the midfield. Now that person you've taken out of the midfield is the one that's going to be bombing on and going to be bringing the rest of them up into play. And that's what I mean. Deeney was so isolated. Yeah, he got subbed in the second half. Everyone was like, "What did he do?" You know, I think he was looking at Gracia going, "Well, I've had no service, and you're taking me off."
He should have just brought on a cack and kept Deeney on. That's what I thought.
Should have done.
He should, you know, balance it up. And then finally, he decides to take off Brightos, go back to a back 4 with less than 10 minutes to go.
In Brightos,
there was no need.
In Brightos' defence, though, everyone forgets he's just come back. He barely played against Arsenal.
And he's played against world class at the moment. Salah at the moment is world class.
That's a mistake by the manager.
His form is world class at the moment, Salah.
Yeah,
the whole team got torn to shreds by him. I mean, Brightos definitely in 2 occasions. I mean, Kinesis, it could have been. Aidan said this on WD18. That it could have been 7 or 8 if it wasn't Kinesis. I know. Yeah. He probably put his hands up with a 5th and say, "Could I have done a bit better?" But he saved. I mean, there was 2 or 3 really good saves from him that it would have been. I don't think Gomez would have had much chance with any of them either.
I sort of blame him with the first one. You always say don't get beaten at the near post, and he did.
He got beaten at the near post far too easy at the first one.
Far too easy.
But it's from the back. Kinesis, okay, I got beaten. Then Brightos would have said, "Okay, I should have done better." In terms of standing up on him, Holbash should have come down and covered him, helped to cover him because Brightos was basically on his own.
Yeah.
What were we doing about was it the 5th goal? Salah's one. 3 of them were at him. 4th, that's terrible.
You got 3 players on 1 man, and they still can't get a tackle in, and they still can't get a foot on the ball. You've taken 2 centre backs out of the equation. Where the hell do you learn that?
I can't blame the keeper on that one.
No, you can't because he's
completely blindsided.
Kinesis is trying to go over. So which way is he going? He's going to poke it this way. He's going to poke it that way. He's going to go over my head. He didn't know what he was doing. I'm not doing the YMCA people, by the way. If you thought I was just doing that, all right.
Young man.
Yeah.
They'd have played better than half.
Exactly. They would have done.
Especially that Copa.
But you know, I just think yesterday, some of those players on the bench warranted a game.
Hughes should have started.
Yes, Hughes
now needs to Paul said, Kaka and Deeney up top.
Well, I would have gone Gray up front. Because then you've got the Akaka backup. You've got the Akaka backup, and that's what you need. Because
I think a 3 or 4-0, we should have just gone and said, right, let's chuck the strikers on, let's have a go at them.
Exactly, let's just run at them. That's what we had to do. But again, I know we've now got the international break. International break, yes, probably coming at the right time.
Probably has come up, I'll agree with that.
Because, one, we can try and get some more injured players out of the treatment room.
Cleverly, probably.
Yeah, I'm praying one of them is Tom Cleverly when over this 2-week break, which I really do not like, as you've all heard on previous podcasts, how I hate it. You know, and I think maybe try and can we get Kabasele back training? Or how long's he out for? Because I think... Yeah, I know Cathcart was on the bench yesterday, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased to see him back. You know, can they get some friendlies arranged to get him some match fitness?
I'll tell you what, and this is linked to the guest today, I would so love to have someone like David Holdsworth playing at the back now. Honestly, that's a bit of a sweetener for him as well. Because honestly, I'd even want Keith Dublin and Barry Ashby back after that, and that is saying something. Holdsworth was the better of the three. He'd slaughter me now when he sort of, but you know, I
don't know. Like I said, they just didn't learn, did they?
It was the away version of Man City, wasn't it? It was the away version of that. We sat back and paid too much respect, got an early goal against us, and it just completely fell apart. That's basically, it was Man City away, wasn't it? A Man City, but an away game.
And the thing that's annoying me more and more each week now, we had a defeat last week at Arsenal, but the one thing I'm now spotting is Sebastian Prodel, who I've been defending to the hilt. He's turning around, looking at everyone, going, "Well, can't blame me for that."
There's got to be some responsibility being taken.
Yeah, you are a centre back. It is your job to mark the striker. You're not marking the striker.
Well, wouldn't you, as a professional, looking at if you mucked up or not, wouldn't you said, right, what could have I done? Rather than look down and say, well, right, what have you been doing?
Yeah, the blame game.
Yeah, have I done enough before I start pointing the finger and say, like, the whole Basses, the Britosses, and players like that? Have I done enough?
Yeah, you hold your hands up.
Take some responsibility.
The only one that didn't do well, the only one that's doing all right is Mavs. Anyone looks like gives a toss.
I felt for him last night because he did actually put in some cracking block tackles.
He looks like he's showing a bit of motion that cares.
You can always get old-fashioned performance from Maps. Every game, no matter good or bad, it's always going to be old-fashioned defensive performance.
Maps has the Watford way drilled into him.
Yeah,
he's got that drilled into him because he's one of the original academy boys. He's had it drilled in from a young age, and he's never forgotten it. No matter where he's been, now he's back with us. He knows what's required. But yet again, some of our senior players don't seem to understand that.
Our great Cookie's got a good point. It's about Holdsworth. I know we're saying about Holdsworth is on shortly. He says he would have rallied around, commanded, and organised the defence. Someone like a Holdsworth. But we've gone from the day where we've got all these, the Baisleys and the Gibbos and stuff like that, who are local lads, who, and some of them, I'm sorry, I know we've turned around because we've got a spanking. Some of them don't care about the club.
No, definitely don't.
Not as much as you think. You don't have to care about the club to put in a good performance, but like the Maps, for example, that he had it ingrained, like you said, the Watford way has been ingrained into him. Yeah, there's a bit more. It's such sad, like you said, you've with Prodel, you've defended him to the hilts. I mean, the guy you don't win Player of the Season.
Exactly.
For nothing. He's quality. Yeah. But it's just not happened this season.
One of these fans, Prodel.
I love the guy. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, I do.
But he's clicked. It hasn't. Sorry, mate.
I'm a Prodel fan and all. I'm very much for him. But the last two games, he's had a shocker. And yet again, last night we saw he tried to play an offside trap. No one's even listening to him. They're all looking, going, "What the hell are you trying to play offside for?" Oh God, whoa, gone. Now it's time to do a 50-yard sprint like Usain Bolt's just come on the pitch. Jesus Christ. Yeah, boys, honestly, you've got a 2-week break. Sort it out. Please, go and flush it out on the training pitch and sort it out. Even if you've got to have a punch-up on the training pitch to sort it out.
I'd personally give them a week off. I know him right, but they're tired. Just have a week away or something.
Just go to sunny Cornwall.
Do anything. Have a break. Especially with Jonathan. He is knackered.
Ricky's got,
I think they will probably get a couple of days off. I can see him being granted a few days rest. But they've got to sort it out. And quite frankly, I do not want to see us playing the back five again for the rest of the season.
I think Deanie's got to take some of that because he's captain. He's Capitano. Not take the blame, but have a word. A little meeting, get together.
I mean, Deanie's got to be honest. Deanie's got the Watford way drilled into him. He knows what it means to play for Watford.
Exactly.
I mean, he himself said home. And they said, what's the one word about Watford? It's home. I mean, he's got the Watford way drilled into him. You don't have to be a youth to play. He just knows what it means to play for us. Go on, read some comments out. There's brilliant one, boys.
Yes, I was going to say, first of all, the ones I can see so far, very good evening to Stuart, to Darren, to Ray, to Vlad, to Mr. Laughwell as well. I'm just about to read your one out because it's to do with this man's comment. Dino, you are in trouble. Week off. They need to be drilled double hard for 2 weeks for being epic useless.
Ooh.
Now that's harsh, but I like it.
Well, we get more injuries though, Mr. Leftwell.
Yeah, because if they're getting drilled,
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree in some ways.
Wouldn't be able to sit down and get drilled, mate.
The one thing we can say in our defence on that now is that we've got a decent doctor on site, so at least they'll be able to assess them quicker and try and work out what's happened to them.
Yeah.
The other worrying thing is we didn't score an away goal yet under this manager.
No, we haven't.
No,
that is very concerning. That needs to change. Yeah, fine. The home record's not bad. You know, he's had a good start. I won't completely slaughter him, but away he could.
I think that's also the way we're setting up, and I think it's also to do with some of the players we've had available. I know we've had further up, like you attacking midfield to strikers, we seem to be sorted, but I think it's also, you know, you want the centre mids as well pushing on. And like I say, yesterday we lost that because Capu and Decore had to do so much defending, they got lost at times. It was almost that you might as well have gone in the River Mersey, lads, because you still wouldn't have been found. But you know, like I say, Decore actually, I can't really slate him because he did actually have a half-decent game.
Well, you know what you get with Decore, even if he's getting isolated, you know he's going to put in a shift. He'll always do that, even if he's quiet, he'll run.
Guys, just remember, we are fully interactive here. We have got David Holdsworth on very, very shortly. Keep messaging in. We are reading your messages, and we are starting to read them out now as well. And just remember, if you want to get on Skype after Sir David Holdsworth comes on, it's TMA live at outlook.com. But if you're on my friends list as well, just Facebook call me, and we'll put you on, and then we'll chat to you over there as well. So fully interactive, boys.
Do you think Gomez is going to get his, what's he, one away from his 100th game?
I've got a feeling.
I'll personally chuck him in for Bournemouth now. I'm not blaming the keeper, but just put him back in.
Yeah, I just have a feeling he might be thinking of a reshuffle.
Do you reckon he's a talker to the defence? I know we can't hear him. Do you reckon he's an organiser? Yeah, he's been good keeper. This bloke has come back in. He's done very well. Don't get me wrong, but do you think Gomez is missing from that back four?
Yes, I do. I do, because he's, you know, when you've got Gomez in goal, and we've got used to it over the last 3-4 years, we know what we're going to get from him.
Yeah.
You know, the defenders can look round. If they're trying to nod the ball back, they'll see, oh yeah, right, he's over there. Right, so I need to nut it down that way.
Yeah.
Or I need to pass it that way. And he knows, and he'll come screaming at him. You know, if it's a corner, he'll be screaming at him, you, get on that penalty spot. You, stand right there. Yeah, you, stand here. Get on him. Get on him. That's another thing we're missing.
Yeah.
You know, we seem to have a little bit of, there's little bits cracking again. Have they decided to take their foot off the gas because they've realised that so many teams down the bottom are playing utterly useless that we might just get away with it? Because if they have, then they need a bloody wake-up call. And if this ain't it, I don't know what will be.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't safe yet. So.
Exactly. We still need to get ourselves another win or two at least. But you know, I think this break's going to do it. It might do us some favours. I do know for a fact Daryl Yamak got dropped for the Holland squad, so he hasn't gone away on international duty.
Dustcart's going to get some match experience, which probably help.
If he gets a run out.
If he gets a run out.
I retract what I said earlier. Get him some, like, behind closed doors friendlies. He's gone off with the Northern Ireland team.
Well, at least he'll be training.
International games, I mean, that's a high pace. You assume it would be high pace being international?
Well, I think that they're only friendlies, so it's.
No, it's still a run out for him, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
I think it's a run out.
It's probably better if it's a friendly because you in theory it won't be as high intense, but you shouldn't be getting as many injuries. In theory, it should be. So hopefully, it should be more easier.
Yeah. So I was going to say there's Saray of Kirk has mentioned, never mind days off. If Graham Taylor was around, he would work them hard, and
they wouldn't have had cramp in that club either.
Exactly. Watford GT would have had them all in on Monday morning. Vlad, a reshuffle, a needed one. Laugh out loud. Yes, Vlad, it is. Just remember, Bumblebee. You know what I'm on about. Trust me, I'll explain that one to you boys later. You'll find it hilarious.
Stuart saying, living in Dublin and Paddy weekend, my house was full of Liverpool fans to watch the game. They were laughing at us. Has to change. We were bloody useless. That's what Stuart said that.
So Stuart, I feel for you having a house full of Liverpool fans. Did they leave you anything, or did they nick the lot?
Any wheels left on your car?
Yeah,
wallets.
TV.
Super Down Grimley's on. Super down.
They go down again.
Look, he's got it on again. We finally converted him. He's seen the lights.
The conversion.
Yes.
The car's going to be out again soon.
Conversion complete.
Shame England can do that.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention that because I'm not talking about that. I'm disgusted with that.
You mentioned it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it.
Boys, can I just remind you that the podcast that we will be moving to Tuesdays will be the first Tuesday in April. So the next two, the 22nd and the 29th, okay, will be on Thursday. So the Thursday Night Live will be carrying on until the first Tuesday in April. So that's when our first Tuesday night podcast is. We'll run it to the end of the season. At the end of the season, we'll give you a vote. If you want us to keep both podcasts, we'll do so. The unanimous vote. It will basically go through the majority. So whatever vote wins, we'll do. If we do a Sunday one, a sole Sunday one, we'll do an hour and a half show. Okay, guys, so we'll let you do that. So in the next 2 weeks, like I say, Thursday Night Live for the next 2 weeks, up to the 29th is the last one. And then the following week, we're doing the first Tuesday night one, and then it'll only be Tuesdays and Sundays. So, yeah.
I'll read that comment.
Yeah,
read the comment.
Stuart, in reply to having all these Liverpool mates around yesterday, they drank all his beers.
He should have been the one
That's what
drinking all the
they
beers.
just drank his beer.
Yeah, they drank his beer. I feel for him because
he needed them.
He needed them. I had about 12 pints in the pub to try and make me feel better.
They come over here, take our jobs, take our women, and our beer.
Yes.
And the tires.
And the wallets, and the windows, and steering
Trees.
wheel. Trees. Gym.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
there's a lot of highs here. Bro slaps as well for the highs here.
Yeah.
Lord Soren's here.
Lord Soren
in the house.
I was going to say, I'm hoping I hope he bribed the coach driver with sweets yesterday. I did see him post saying that he was taking some, so
taking some sweets. Oh, yeah. Super Down Grimley says it's nice to see you in a Watford shirt.
Yeah, don't worry, be a cardigan soon, mate. Don't worry about that.
No, was it the thing on Dumb and Dumber? It's a pullover. No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for asking. Good times.
Good evening, the Watford. Woody, yeah, Darren, yeah, you're spot on. We are going to try and force this to keep him in a Watford shirt. If he fails to do it, we will set up a petition. I'll get everyone to sign it. I'll even bring it to the game.
Well, the time is almost nigh for the defensive legend that is David Holdsworth. He is watching as well, so Super Nil Price is on as well.
Fantastic.
And Jonathan Rillier is on as well.
Good evening, John. Good evening, mate. Good evening, sir.
Yes,
guys, when David comes on, if you've got a question you want to throw it in, and we will try and ask it for him to him. So if you can think of a question, post it up, we'll spot it, and we'll try and.
How far's Kabul from being fit now?
I don't know. I think he must be back in training.
Surely. Since Southampton, isn't he? Since he's done his hamstring against Southampton, he's been in training. Yeah. I know he's definitely been in training because they showed a video of him taking shots, wasn't it? So we know he's doing more like what.
Yeah. Thank you, Bjorn. Thank you. Yes, it was needed. The 12 pints. It was needed.
12 pints Moobs and Deano.
Yeah. Went back to my old drinking ways.
He only drank 12 pints. He only drank 12 pints.
Yeah, that's because I had to get up for work this morning. Otherwise, I'd have had a lot more.
He would have had 13.
No one know what my record is.
Was like the average age of the Vietnam soldier was 19. No, 19.
It's higher than that.
Pints.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll talk about that another time. I'll talk about that. Good evening, so David Holdsworth is on. Good evening, Good evening.
We will be starting in a minute, Dave. We'll just cover a couple of things, and there was a bit of nice noise coming from his phone as well.
That was my phone again.
It always goes live. Callahan is that a wall? Oh, Cardigan, is that a wall? One Dino.
I've got people messaging me all over the place here, guys. Oh, it's Wayne. It's Wayne. Get on the Get on the podcast, mate.
Get on the podcast, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne. What are you playing at?
It's Wayne's World. Party time.
Yes, it is.
Shall we? Right. Okay. Let's see if we let's get David Holdsworth on the phone now. Right. Let's see if, double check we get things right, guys. Once we've finished chatting with Big Dave, just remember TMA live at outlook.com if you want to come on Skype. So let's see if we can get him on.
Or contact via Facebook Messenger.
Yes, if you're lucky enough to be on my friends list.
And mine.
It's not mine.
Actually, we might have a problem here because my voice is on the verge of going, I think. This is a
Good
bit
to be
worrying.
quiet then, mate.
Excuse me one moment, guys. This is live. I'm just going to have to... Can I RKO
See if
you?
we can connect with him. Aiden's on as well.
Lovely.
All right, here we go.
I'll tell you what, I'll put that there.
Please leave a message.
Oh, there's a message. David Holdsworth.
He's gone.
He's gone. Let's go again.
He's gone out the room quickly.
Yeah.
Hang on. Dave.
How are you?
Hello, Dave. David Holdsworth. Evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing, fella? What?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you ever so much for chatting to us. This is an absolute honour chatting to you.
Leave off. It's a pleasure.
Brilliant. How's your brother anyway as well?
Yeah, he's well, thank you. Yeah, he's all good. All good.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I'd just like to say once again, thank you ever so much, mate. We've just got a few of us just want to obviously just ask you a couple of questions. My first one, obviously, I said about your brother Dean. What was it like playing against your brother Dean when you played in the FA Cup in 1996?
Do you remember that? I remember it like yesterday.
Oh, God.
It was horrific. My mum told me not to kick him. And then when he got dragged off, he got the ump. So it was one of them days where I don't think anybody else. I was probably the only person. Well, I don't know if there's any other twins that have ever played against each other, but so it was quite a tough old day emotionally because when we got drawn against each other in the cup, we were on the phone on the I think it was drawn on the previous Saturday night or a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
And we knew that it was just quite ironic that we were sat on the phone talking, who are you going to get? And we were the last two teams out, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, we were actually,
It was
yeah.
an incredible day.
Oh, God, yeah. I remember the referee, they were saying the interview and the ref, and he just said, I just let him at it.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, of course.
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, you wouldn't, would you?
Oh, dear.
Nah, I weren't like that at all.
My phone's gone.
What was your favourite game you played for Watford, David?
Well, there's plenty of them. His debut, obviously, away to West Brom, and Gibbsy scored a screamer from about 25 yards. It was the only time he ventured into the opposition's half in his 12-year career. That was a special moment. Captaining the club, of course, was always a pleasure and an honour. And I think one of the most remarkable games was playing against Leeds in the cup. That was with Cantona, so that was a cracking.
Oh, God,
night for the fans.
Wow. Yeah, no, fantastic. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, we got Mr. Moobs and Deano itching to speak to him, mate.
My throat is completely and utterly gone almost, so pardon me, David, if you can't hear me properly, mate, I do apologise.
It's all right, mate.
Do not know where this is.
Putting on a husky voice.
This is manly tones.
I think it was too much shouting in the pub yesterday. For those of you that were there, you know exactly what I was doing. Cool, blimey, yeah. I was going to say, one question I wanted to ask you, because you had a spell in management after you finished playing. Do you think there should be more English managers in the top, managing in the top flight and so forth? Or
yeah, I do actually. I agree with you. I think there is a consideration for that, and I think sometimes we get involved we find managers and you don't even know their name is before they've got the job, and they come from peculiar whereabouts. But I think that comes with the territory when you've got foreign ownership now, and a lot of it's foreign money, and obviously they have their own contacts in the world. And I mean, I've been invited out to some strange old countries because of English people. But as I say, when the money comes in from foreign investment, they tend to want, they use foreign agents, and they use different types of sort of profiles, if you like, for managers. And there are I would say there's a lot of fortuitous managers in the game that probably wouldn't be there if there was English ownership, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, fair play to you and your brother, because you both started in the lower rung and wanted to sort of earn your way up there, rather than sort of thinking, because both of you guys were top level pros, and you could have easily had a coaching job higher up and gone to a bigger club. But you guys, I mean, you started at Ilixton Town. I know, didn't your brother have a managerial stint? Wasn't it at Altrincham? Or
Aldershot.
Aldershot, that's it.
He started off at Newport County.
That's it. Yeah.
He's done very well there. I felt I went. I mean, you guys are probably not. You might be aware. I went up to Scotland. I set up a football club in Gretna Football Club with the guy who bought the club.
Gretna,
really came out of the blue. A guy called Brooks Milson, who became my best friend. And I went up to live in Cumbria and set up the club with him. We was in the Scottish Third Division. It was a challenge. I could have stayed in the game and played for, I think it was Nottingham Forest or even Wimbledon. I think exactly, it was right at Wimbledon. Dean went back to Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon, and I wanted to cut my teeth and learn. So it was a strange old one. The guy came out of the blue and met me. I met him at Waltham Abbey.
Yeah.
And I thought it was mad. And in the end, we became best pals, and I moved up, and we did really well at Gretna, and I sort of helped him set the club up. So I wanted to learn about the behind the scenes of it also while I was playing. And we went on a remarkable run. I mean, obviously, I don't know how much it was remembered back here, but we went from the Scottish Third Division to the Scottish Premier League, and we went to the Scottish Cup final. So,
what a story that was, David.
Journey. It was amazing trip, and then I came back and I took on two clubs in England. Obviously, Mansfield after Ilkeston doing very well there, and then in Mansfield and Lincoln, and I saved two clubs from relegation, which was really difficult, but managed to do it, and they were both tough jobs. So not easily achievable, but I'm really proud that we did that.
Yeah, but you got that on your CV. You got, I mean, at Ilixton, weren't you 6th or 8th when you took over at Mansfield? And like I say, you saved those two from relegation. So, I mean, not a bad CV, your first few jobs.
Well, no, I think the thing is when you take over a club, Mansfield, the 23rd, I think, when I took over in the league, and we ended up finishing 10th, and so I was really proud of that, because I mean, the club was skint at the time. I mean, Mr. Radford there at the moment's got, he's really looked after the club very well since he took over. My time there, we were really the paupers in the league, and obviously it was really quite difficult. But you learn a great deal, and so obviously doing that, and then when I went to Lincoln, a similar situation. Both clubs had suffered relegation from the league, and it was horrible for them. And the trouble is, the fans, their expectancy levels of the club are high. And what you have to do is you have to battle emotions, but also battle when you've got players under contract that are really not good enough, and they've been given contracts that are far too out of their depth. And so I learned a great deal, but it was tough, very tough.
Yeah, but you still, like I say, you kept them both up with basically no money. I mean, there's better managers, more high-profile managers that would have probably struggled doing that. So, fair play to you, David. I mean,
I agree with that. I think I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah, exactly. Good on you.
When they went down, the supporters were, upset at everything that the club had done, and obviously, you're working with people that haven't really got a clue about having to manage a relegation battle. So I was over the moon when when I was at Lincoln. We stayed up on a night. We played Fleetwood. Fleetwood had something like a £3 million budget. My budget at Lincoln was about 6 of that. So
Jesus.
And they were great nights.
No. Honestly, like I said, I read a couple of things up about when you were a manager, and it's like I say, with the 2 ones that you stayed up with, and all your Gretna stuff. I mean, it's still one hell of a journey. Some of the guys have said, David, they said, Ray Cook said, Dave, you live in one of my favourite places, Sheffield. I've worked and lived there for a while. Bjorn saying, David, your goal versus Leeds will go down in history. Thank you for being a Watford legend. Watford's rock, and number 5, one of the best centre-backs we have ever had, legend.
Well, that's very, very kind, and obviously they're really lovely. I've got some great memories of Watford, and obviously I started my career there, and those gentlemen, that's very kind of them to say that. I mean, I remember the Leeds game because it was just a special night, you know, under the lights at Vicarage Road, and it was a real quality night, and them nights were there to be savoured. So listen, I love my time at Watford, and I met some lovely people, and still friends now. So they hold you in good stead, and with great memories. I mean, obviously to play for the club for so many times, and obviously to start my career there, it was I was very lucky.
Yeah, I remember the. You and I made it no secret with me. It was Simo, was it? Steve Sims, McClelland, and you were my all-time favourite 3 centre backs. I never remember.
That's very kind.
No, it's no pleasure, mate. I've still got my number 5 shirt now. I'll tell you. It's had to happen.
It still fits.
It still fits. Oh yeah, no, it still fits even when I was 13. I tell you. But I remember there was 3. There was 2 3 centre back combinations of 3 where you had Keith Dublin and Barry Ashby, and then also Keith Millen, yourself and Colin Foster.
Yeah.
I mean, Fozzie was one hell of a defender. I mean, that was near the tail end of his career. But what was it like playing with players like Millen, especially Millen and Foster?
Well, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. That combination there really worked. I mean, me and Fozzie, if truth be known, were really, very close mates. We were best mates off the pitch. We weren't someone, we didn't go around each other's houses and that. But on the pitch, we used to travel in together, and we got on really, really well. And Millie was good as well. We were very close, and we used to fight and for everything, every battle there was, and clean sheets. I think we had the record number of clean sheets. I think with Kevin Miller in goal. I think we went something like 7 games, 8 games with clean sheets, which was amazing. But we all got on well, and the key to it was having that knowledge of we had a bit of pace. I mean, Fozzie, he turned like the QE2, but he knew where to be. And as I say, his experience. Some of and the thing was we had continuity in that defence, and that was really important. And we also trusted each other, which is the most important thing as well for players. When you're going up for a ball, someone's going to win balls, but if he doesn't succeed, so it was a good combination.
Yeah. I mean that time where Watford. I mean we're so lucky now. That we're not known as a second club anymore. In those days we were heavily reliant on, like say yourself, the Baisleys and players like coming through. Even in the 80s when you started to make your debut and stuff, where we had homegrown talent. And the Watford way, and you yourself were drilled in the Watford way as well. And you could see that you and a few others, and even the Fozzies and the Millens that weren't Watford, sort of born and bred, you see you really cared about the club.
Well, I think that's the most important thing, is that they all cared, and we every player in that team in that era cared about the club and the supporters. It was a community, and you're going back to Graham Taylor and all the people behind that. That's what was drilled into us, and so there was a nucleus of people that said, this is the way we do things here, and sadly sometimes the club did lose its way in the future, but it's important for every club to have that nucleus of youngsters that come through as well. To you go up to the top club in the world, probably Man United. You look back at them, and when they were doing so well, they had that. So Graham knew what he was doing, and so did the people of Watford, and that was the key to us. And we did care about the club. And ironically, when we're talking now, you still do. I still have amazing memories, and still, watch out for Watford's results every week, and want the club to succeed. And that's what I think it's in you. It's in your blood, I'm afraid.
Yeah. It never goes away. It just proves what a great job. And all the guys that we chatted to already, what a fantastic legends you were, because we still remember those games, don't we?
Yeah, they were good nights. They were good days.
What did you make of Graham Taylor, David? Obviously, you loved him like we all did.
Listen. I mean it sincerely. When he sadly passed away, I was in tears, because he was like a dad to me, to be honest. Sadly, my dad and my mum separated when I was young, and Graham took me out of school a year early to take me into Watford. Because I was a little bit of a naughty boy, to be honest, and Graham saw that, and he had the hindsight to say, listen to the school, listen, we'll take David over and put me in digs, and all I wanted was to be a professional footballer, but I needed Graham, and I'll tell you a true story. I remember ringing Graham when I was at Gretna. I'd just given a young boy a real rollicking because he was a little bit of trouble. And I rang Graham up and I said, listen, I just want to thank you because I've just done something that you did to me sort of 17 years ago. And he laughed and he said, well, you needed it. And I said, well, I've learned from that. I learned a great deal from his presence and the way that he managed a young player that was a little bit of a naughty boy, but also I loved the club and obviously wanted to succeed. But he laughed and he said, we knew that we had a player, but we had to make sure that you were, it wasn't that he wasn't dedicated. He was just a bit of a naughty boy, and he made me laugh. But he was brilliant, Graham. And that's why everybody held him in such high esteem because the way he was with people. Even when I was at Lincoln, I rang him up and said, listen, you're welcome to come up to Lincoln because obviously he's a Lincoln man. And we had great chats. He was just a great guy. But as I say, as a manager and as a young person, I mean, I was scared witless of him because he was just had this authority about him. And as you respect the situation, he just had that great leadership. He was a brilliant manager.
Yeah, and
a wonderful man. Let me say that, a wonderful man.
Oh yes, spot on. I mean, that's pretty much it. The nail on the head, wasn't it? Exactly. That little bit. That's it, pretty much.
David, Stuart's messaging. He said, "Well, what are you doing with yourself these days?"
I'm keeping fit. Comes back.
We could do with another centre back. We've got so many injured.
I'm quicker than some of them.
Oh, blimey, you could get you and then get Dean just to float around with Deanie, I think. That won't be bad. No, absolutely brilliant. Ray's put on again, he says, Dave and Dean with their mum took me back from Woodside in their car with my baby son Lee after you played for Watford Juniors at Woodside. Had a great side then.
Yeah, you know what? Great memories of Woodside and those Saturday mornings with Cliff Value and even the people that I lived with. They used to come down to the games and we used to turn up and Tom Wally used to be screaming and do this, do that, and you know what? There's some brilliant memories of Woodside, and we used to train there. I remember going back when I was training. I used to live in East London and come over. There was no M25 then, by the way, and we used to come over every match day, get lost every other day, and get there, and it'd still moan at me that we were late, and you think, oh my God, you don't realise how long it took us to get here, but that was what we were. We were dedicated. We wanted to be there, playing on Woodside and on a Saturday morning, and then you go back and watch the game, and it was an honour. You know, you pull the shirt on in the morning, and in the youth team, some great lads like you talk about Barry Ashby and people like that.
Yeah,
some good people, and then you go and watch the first team, and say I've got a lot of people who remember a lot of chaps who are sort of similar age to me. They oh God, do you remember John Barnes and Luther? And yeah, of course I do. They were great people, and no, good memories, really good memories. Amazing.
Yeah, David, who did you used to sit next to in the changing rooms like before a game?
Anybody that could put up with me because I wasn't very pleasant. I used to shout and scream and all that, and I think people would try and keep away from me. I think Fozzie was all right. I suppose Fozzie. We used to talk about different things, and he was right, but I was very single-minded on a match day. Like I think you should. Well, I think I was as well. It used to be. I still am. Even if I put a shirt on now and play a charity game, I still want to win it, and it's the way you are. But before a game, I was very focused and go through my own routine, and as a lot of players do. Yeah,
Paney said there was a lot of characters in those days in the dressing room, and he says you were certainly one of them.
Blimey, yes.
Yeah, Paney used to be assistant manager. He used to be assistant manager at Hemel Town, and
did he?
Yeah, years ago. This is about 10 years ago, and Yeah, and he, on the way back from the away games, used to tell me about all the times at Watford and what was it like playing all these players, and it filled the gaps in because I never knew all this stuff, and he'd tell me all, like you and a few others like Tommy Mooney and stuff, you know, Tomo. Said you guys were just organised.
We had a lot of characters in, and there was a lot of voices there, a lot of sort of interaction, if you like. Payne was one of the best. Yeah, I remember him turning up for training one day, and he had egg all down his jeans. It was a mess. He just looked like he had going for a bacon sandwich and an egg before he trained. It did make us laugh.
But in your time, I think especially Watford, who was your best player that you ever played with at Watford?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I had to throw that in just before.
I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously, I started off my career with John McClelland and Tony Coton, so I think Tony Coton would be one of the best, you know, that I played with. I was lucky enough to play with Luther and people like that, but I think if a goalkeeper's a mental or stupid, and Tony was a bit of both, but a great guy as well, and a brilliant player. There was a lot of players, and it'd probably be wrong to single out anybody, but I think Tony was great, and John McClelland was a really good help for me when I made my debut, you know.
John McClelland was amazing. I mean, what a grounding you have to play with John McClelland. Yeah. Oh God, exactly. You know, that's going to be hard, you know.
Yeah. Well, he was a very single-minded man, and but we knew how. When I broke into the team, and it was, I mean, I can't remember how many games we went unbeaten, but I remember going to Selhurst Park and playing against Ian Wright and Mark Bright that day, and we won. I think Gary Porter scored, and I think Kenny Jackie scored. Cool. But we went there, and me and him just said we had I mean, obviously I was very quick, and Macca just knew the game, and he'd point you in the right direction. And I think them days, they weren't none of this team changing formation, you know, 3-5, whatever, and it was 4-4-2. We knew our jobs, and there was no grey areas. And me and Macca used to pick up a man, and I'd end up picking up the quick person, and Macca would be dominant, and I'd sweep up around him, and it was easy, if you like. I know it sounds funny, it might sound strange, but we're playing against good players, and we went to Selhurst Park, and we smashed the life out of Wright and Bright, and in the evening I went out with Wrighty in London, and he said, I can't walk. He said, you kicked the life out of me.
That's brilliant.
But Macca would, you know, in his strong accent, he was brilliant, and you knew where he was, but he was a good, you know, for me, it was having someone like him next to me, coming from, you know, the reserves, if you like, or the youth team. My maturity grew quickly because Macca was very helpful with me, which obviously as I grew up, I grew older, you help younger players, and no, he was brilliant. And I mean, I've still got memories of Dave Bardsley and people, you know, Kenny Jackets and, you know, Gary Porters and Jan Lomans and people like that. Les Taylor, they were brilliant, and all helpful people, you know, very, very helpful, and good people to have around.
Yeah.
Who's the best Watford supporter, you or your brother, David?
Who's the what?
Best Watford supporter, you or your brother? Who's the biggest fan of the club?
We've both got. I mean, Dean, to be fair, you know, he had to leave and he had to move on early. I mean, I was very proud. I stayed over 10 years, and I loved my time there. But I think Dean had to leave because at the time we had about 7 or 8 centre forwards, and he went to Brentford and he went to various clubs on loan and did really well. So he needed to go and spread his wings, if you like, and went on to become a very good player. But sometimes that is the best thing. And I think we're both still Watford supporters. No one can ever take those memories of playing in the youth team with Tom Wally, under Tom Wally, and the lovely coaches, the great coaches, your Steve Harrisons, your John Wards, and obviously we had great times there. It was great fun. Brilliant. It was a great grounding for us.
Oh God, yeah, I bet.
Dave, a couple of the lads will know. Have you been able to get back to the Vic at all much, or do you not get time?
Yeah. I came back last season, but I haven't been this season yet. But I would love to if I can get time to get down there and see them again. I mean, I watch them obviously every week and look out for the results. And you know what? It seems like a great atmosphere on the terraces. All the flags and all the way that the supporters set up. It looks brilliant. So no, I came down last year, but I'm definitely going to try and get down before the end of the season. I keep trying to, just trying to find the time.
Brilliant.
Well, can I just say once again, thank you ever so much for for speaking to us anyway. It's been obviously a complete honour speaking to one of my favourite centre backs of all time anyway. But yeah, no,
it's a big pleasure, chaps, and it's a big shout out to all the supporters, and obviously wish the club every success for the rest of the season. You know?
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
well,
thank you, David. Thank you.
Cheers, Dave, and love to the family, mate, as well.
Top man. Take care, pal. See you again. Bye.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
David. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Oh, lovely bloke, eh?
That's David Holdsworth.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right, guys, the Legends will be keeping coming on. I am in talks with a few more, so
I love it.
please.
Didn't you say this the other week and you're still not revealing who?
No.
Suspense.
There's a couple that, yeah, there's a major one.
That's the
Put this way, there's a major one that is agreed, and he will be on soon, but that will come a week before, and it will be announced on a Tuesday. But yeah, I think one's coming on the sofa as well, and he watches this as well. And I'm going to get you, Mr. Neil Price. He's coming on. He knows. And also, we'll try and get Super Darren Grimley on here. He will be coming on with a Watford shirt.
No, I'll be wearing my car.
He cannot
I'll tell you what, actually, there's no reason why he can't get one at the minute, because I swear we've got a sale on in the club
I
shop.
won't get one for you. You buy one,
Yeah,
and
you
you
can
can
get one.
get him this finally. Get him a away shirt.
I've actually got to go and get the away top. I need.
Right, let's look. We've dissected the Liverpool game as much as we can, but let's try and go one way, and let's one a man of the match on our side. It's going to be hard because it was shocking, but a man of the match from Watford, probably Pereira. We'll read the comments out in a minute. Probably Pereira, but before we read out any comments, what can we take out of that game? There must be something we can take. I know it sounds stupid, but we look at it, what's bad out of a win?
I've got one.
Go on.
We don't play a back five anymore.
That's it. Fair enough, yeah.
It could have been worse.
It could have been.
4-4-2.
Yeah, you're right. You always want to look at positives, but it is
Positives.
Positives.
It is hard. It must have been hard for Garcia to actually look for a positive from that game. He probably did find some because that's his job.
Yeah.
But seriously, what could he have said to the team?
Yeah.
We don't want to be all doom and gloom, but after that, the people that went as well, it's hard enough watching it. Fair play to them that sang their hearts out. Good on you,
Yeah. But if you, I was going to say, if you're on Seren's coach, I think you might have had more entertainment going there and back than you did in the whole game. With him handing out the sweets, of course.
Seren with his sweets.
I don't know who said it, but someone said it. I think it was enjoy the game. Some people are more upset than others. I think it might have been Aidan said, if I want to go there and sing my heart out, it don't matter what the score is.
Exactly.
He's right to that opinion. But also there's the other one, we're going, why should we be so happy? We've been not happy, but we should be
miserable. It's a double-edged sword, because if you don't sing, you're not a true fan. But you can understand why people are annoyed.
Yeah.
Isn't it? True.
It's true. It is true.
But if you do, and then if you do sing, you say, well, hang on a moment, let's give us something to sing about.
Yeah.
If you do, you don't have to sing to be a true fan, but especially away, you expect
them fans when you're getting hammered.
I could still hear them.
Good on
They
them.
were still singing, and they
they
did it last year when we were getting spanked 6-1.
Yeah.
They still sang.
We still sang.
I understand both points of view. Fine, I'm furious at it. They're furious at it as well, but they're singing. They're trying to get the team. Come on, we're still here. Give us something. Give us a goal.
Yeah.
The under-18s, the under-18s, and I've got this official this time. They've not won, lose or draw. They won 6-0 against Nottingham Forest in the under-18s professional development league. So well done, the under-18s. Fair play. Yeah. Right. Like we said, we're in association with WD18 the Watford Fans channel. Like, share and subscribe for all your post-match interviews with the fans, made by the fans for the fans. Any transfer news, any pre-match analysis, pre-match talk, just go on there and like, share, subscribe. And you got a few shout-out plugs. Because I know we're going to get to some fan views as well.
Marzi, like, share and subscribe. WD18 boys as well, like, share and subscribe. What we got? Watford, Woody, isn't it, Steve? merchandise.
Yeah, Watford Steve, go on
Sorry,
to
I'm forgetting.
go on to Facebook, Watford Steve, fast track delivery. I know, like we said before, there's a few of them, including Mick and Sir Ray, have bought their stuff. I know a lot of other people have bought their stuff there, and obviously the Ashby St Eve. We've got the Rambo T-shirt here. We've got the Deanie T-shirt over there. Okay.
Order mine.
He's still to order his.
You're moaning me about what?
Right.
Shirt?
Go on.
Hang on a bit. What have I got on?
Right. Google Ashby St Eve and go on their site. It's got loads of Watford superhero ones, gifts and ideas, gifts and souvenirs. If you want any ideas, message Jim Cook or Lord Seren on the forum, and they may be able to design it for you. So not just Watford, they've got other things as well. And like I say, Jim Cook, thank you very much for designing the logos as ever as well.
Yep, fantastic.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
and this one as well. And just remember, guys, Graham Laycock, the mugs. We are in the process of designing car stickers as well. Just look at the we post this up all the time. $7.99 epilepsy charity. You're getting a really top quality Watford supporters mug, and also you're doing your bit for charity as well. So check that
Who's
out.
the lad we got from Sunderland again? I keep getting his name wrong.
Yeah.
Why don't he get chucked in? Why can't we have
Do you know
him
something?
in there?
Do you know something? I sat at home the other day, and I thought to myself, what the hell has happened to this guy?
Yeah.
We've signed him on loan. He was on the bench for a few games. Now we've got Will Hughes back. He's suddenly wandered off.
Yeah, what I read from Sunderland saying is he's pretty good at getting the ball, and his passing isn't too bad. There's other bits you've got to work on, but he's very good at winning the ball back.
Yeah.
So why don't we chuck him in next to Decore, a very good, experienced player now? Get him learning of Decore. He's young, he's fit. It might liven Decore up a little bit more, having a youngster having to look after him.
Well, they reckon Delafeu as well. When he's eventually back, we could be there's a possibility get him on a contract in Mandendon.
It's so frustrating with the squad we got on paper. It's so.
Well, look, if we've got everyone fit. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean.
What
the
a fantastic
squad on
starting 11.
Yeah.
And look at how strong our bench is. If it's all ifs and buts.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
I think at the minute, I hate, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to the other guys that have come in, but I do think we are missing Delafeu a little bit, because he brought something different to the team as soon as he stepped foot on the pitch.
Yeah.
And
he excited us.
Yeah, and he brought the talent. You know, he wasn't. He's one of these players. Yes, he's had the Barcelona way drilled into him, the tiki taka stuff.
Yeah.
But when he gets the ball, he ain't scared to run at people, and he will run and run and run and run.
Yeah.
And we saw that against Everton until they finally decided to break his foot. And I just feel that some of the others need to sort of step up and look at him doing it and thinking, hang on a minute, if I want to get back in the team, I've got to start doing that.
Yeah, no.
And I think some of them take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, hence the reason why, Mr. Carrillo, you have not been playing much lately. You've been taking things for granted, and it's blatant you have as well.
Why don't we change it against Bournemouth? Start Gray, drop Richarlison to the bench. How about have him as an impact sub for a change? Wake him up. Impact sub. Come on, do something.
Next 2 games or so. Next 2 home games.
Do
or something
something
like
different. We need to.
I would do that. I would shake it up.
Yeah.
Because we know Bournemouth are going to come at us like all guns blazing.
Good squad.
They've got, you know, Josh King starting the fire. Jermaine Defoe's in the background. You know, you've got Stanislas.
They're a good team, Moobs. They play good football.
They are a good team. I ain't denying it.
No, that's why we got them.
You know, we have to be ready for them. And I think this is where maybe Hughes might get his start. We might see, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 others coming back that have come back from injury. They might get a game.
I think Hughes should play the more attacking role. You know, where they play 2 strikers and 1. Yeah. Where Pereira sort of plays. I'd probably put Hughes.
If you've got the 3 in midfield, like say you go with Decore, Capu, and Hughes.
Yeah.
You go, again, I'll try and do it on my pad. You go, right, Capu, Decore, you 2 are sitting and mopping up.
Yeah.
Hughes, you're getting the free run.
Yeah.
And you are designed, as soon as you get the ball, like we saw against West Brom, ping it.
Yeah.
Ping it. If you see if you look up and Dean's already going, and you know you can get it through that gap, you hit it. because we know that Bournemouth centre-backs aren't fast.
No.
And with some pace running at them, they do back off and tumble a bit. All right, we're going to have Nathan Ake playing against us. That'll be a different kettle of fish, but we know what he's capable of, and Hollebass will probably crunch him anyway in the first 10 minutes. I think that's actually odds on.
Well, what was Steve saying? We're lacking that killer pass.
Yes, we are.
Seem to be lacking.
We are lacking a killer pass.
But that's why Hughes should play.
Yeah,
because he has got that vision like he did again.
Decore did at the start of the season.
Yeah,
Decore's having to do too much work.
Yeah, he's sitting back a bit anyways. Yeah, to help him with defence.
I think also what we've got to look at is with Decore as well, that he's burning out. And I think, you know, I know we've all been banging on about Richarlison for a heck of a long time, but you see at the end of every game, Decore is near enough flat on his face on the pitch as soon as that whistle's gone. And he's already looking at the bench. Please, will you take me off? No. And he's sort of saying, well, I'm run in. I'm done in. Please, help me. But because of the injury crisis we've got to keep playing him.
He's got to be one of the first three on the list, definitely. Like Paul talks about a spine, Decore is definitely one of them spines.
He is. He's part of the backbone of the team.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw, you know, when we had him, Shalabar, and Cleverley,
one hell of a
that midfield three was perfect. And I think if we can get, because that's the other thing, what has happened to Shalabar? Because they said he was meant to be back by now.
Let's be honest, we're not going to see him till next season.
Yeah, that's going to say.
In all honesty, I'll be surprised if we see him now.
I'm not being vague, but why can't the club just come out and say, look, we've got it wrong and he's going to miss the rest of the season, he'll miss the World Cup, he'll be back for pre-season.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. What's the point in risking him now?
Yeah, right, okay, right. We're gonna shut off now, guys. But just before Dino does his goodbye, just guys, once again, thank you ever so much. Thank you, David Holdsworth, for coming on. Thank you, Super Dave. Always a pleasure. Like all the legends that come on, thank you very much. Just remember, keep sharing and subscribing the YouTube channel, TaylorMade Army TV. We give you all the backup podcasts on there. We'll be adding little extras, but ideas are floating around, and we'll be getting you informed about that as soon as we can. Just remember, the next 2 Thursdays are still on, obviously Thursdays, and then we will move in. First Tuesday in April, we'll start the Tuesday night podcast. Like I said, we'll run it to the end of the season, and then we'll throw it out to a vote and see what you guys think. And at the end of the day, it's your podcast, so we'll give you the option of if we want to carry it on or not. So that's it from me. So thank you very much, guys.
Yes, thank you. Someone's already beaten me to it. Not happy. Still not happy, and I've got to be careful because my throat is going. So this is going to be a short one this week, guys. You know, it's been fantastic podcast again tonight. Loved every minute of it. But please keep putting the word out. As Stuart has just said, tell the ice cream man. Well, if the ice cream man's out in this weather, God blimey, he's brave. I certainly wouldn't be getting ice cream for this one. But yeah, like I say, please, keep putting the word out there. Keep telling everyone about it, especially all the boys, you know, and to all the boys that are tuning in from overseas. So like Darren over in Ireland, and Stuart, I think Stuart's in Ireland as well. But whoever it is, you know, guys, if you're tuning in from around the world and you know in your area there's more Watford fans, please send them this way. Tell them all about us. Tell them what we do. Tell them we know tonight we've had David Holdsworth already, Peter Kennedy, Richard Johnson.
Leon.
We've had, exactly, and Gongi's been on. So please, guys, please keep putting it out there. Keep putting the word out. So, and remember, 3 simple questions is all it is to take to get it accepted. And I'm going to have to stop because my throat is seriously on the verge of going, and I do not like it.
So, like I say, once again, guys, thank you very much, and it's good night from him.
It's good night from him.
It's good night from them.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Boys and girls, take care.